Marvel's Rivals. Marvel's? Marvel Rivals, sorry. I said it wrong. Finally, I get to share some Wolverine gameplay. A character who I have been tempted to play for a while, but didn't have the confidence to do so. And we get one of my favourite levels, and I get to share a gameplay of my first real game with Wolverine. Before this match, I would pick him, I would get killed once, I would notice the team was incredibly capable and we were probably going to lose, and then I would immediately pick off him and run a strategist instead. But in this game, everything aligned so that I was able to have a go with this menace of a character. And the first thing you see is me completely missing my shift ability, doing the dive and getting some bad detection and getting stunned by Penny. Penny and Wolverine don't get on too well. She has a lot of tools that make my life miserable, but it's not going to stop me from having fun. And to say I had fun on this game is a goddamn understatement. This might be the most fun I've ever had on Marvel Rivals, and I'm loving the game too. But this was just the perfect storm of things happening. My team were doing great things. We had good healers. I was getting healed when I needed it. The enemies were putting up a fight. They were moving around. They were giving me an opportunity to learn how to get in, how to get out, how to approach. And all in all, it just... I had a big grin on my face on most of this. And because this level is so dynamic, I was able to come on ranges and to attack from different perspectives and to think about how I'm supposed to play this character. So Wolverine's abilities are quite interesting, and it seems like lots of people are just completely saying that he's useless. People are just giving up on him, and I don't know why. Like, I have never killed people as quickly as I kill people with this character if I do it right. It's just how I do it involves being a bit more savvy than some of the other characters. I think he's definitely one of the more difficult characters. And if you're up against really bad players and your team is strong, you can play him like shit and you'll be fine. Like, if there's two healers on you, you'll be absolutely fine, and you can run in there and hold mouse 1 and have a good time. But if you're up against people paying attention and you want to play him in a better way, you have to use what he does so well. And from what I've seen and from what I've read, this guy, I don't really know how to use his ult as well, so I wasted that one. That was a bit disappointing. But we also have a team that has a Venom and a Hulk. Because both Hulk and Venom are dive tanks, they have the ability to get in there and cause chaos. They complement me, and I complement them. So they can put pressure, make everything mad. People try to run away from them, and then I get to pick them off from these different vantage points. And my goal here is the healers. But sadly, I still have quite a long way to go when it comes to being able to use that dive effectively. And the idea is, guys, when you press left shift, if you're close enough, you will pounce on someone, and then you can steer the pounce away from their team, so you and your team can finish them off, which is what we're doing here. If you do it correctly, you can isolate tanks and shred them, like I'm trying to do in this video. You can do it to healers, it works, it's great. The issue arises with it's one of the moves in the game that's detection doesn't seem to work very well. So there are times when you'll use it and you think it should work and it simply doesn't. This will get easier the more you invest. Like, I scooped him pretty well. That was nice. And look at him dying. See that? That's a healer dead. Do you know how hard it can be to kill people like Adam Warlock? The utility of Wolverine is amazing. And I can't wait to put more time on this character because he is nuts. But let me talk about his abilities. So, one of the things I didn't really understand in this video, but I do a bit more now, is Wolverine's passive. So, when you die, it happened just then. Did you see it? When you die as Wolverine, you get life back. You get a second life. And the life you get, which is that blue armor that it gives you, is based, I think, upon your rage meter. So if your rage is high like this, you'll get a ton of life back. However, once it goes, you then have it on cooldown, and then you'll just get absolutely melted. So you need to be really careful. However, the cooldown goes down every time you kill someone. So if you're being aggressive and using your abilities correctly, unlike me just then, you can get his passive back, and when you attack with his passive, you essentially have 600 health. And you need to understand this because it tells you when to stay in the fight and when to run away. And of course, just then, it didn't look like it made any sense. I'm sure you're probably as confused as I was at the time, but my ears told me what it was and I didn't listen. Loki stole my ultimate and ultimated us. And on my screen, I'm just in the air from an invisible force and getting killed. It looked really fucking weird. But that Loki knows how to use my ability better than I do. And I found that to be really funny at the time. But additionally, every time Wolverine attacks somebody, he builds up his rage meter, which leads him to do more damage. Additionally, when you get hit, this builds up as well. And you want to keep this meter as high as possible because it makes you more lethal, obviously. And then his dive move, which is his move for anti-airing, for like redirecting tanks and whatnot. When you land at the end of that move, you go into this barrage of claws, which gives you this big speed boost. And then from that, as I overextend like a motherfucker here, but my healers keep me alive, and even Hulk gives me a shield, which is fucking awesome. Once you come out of that ability, you can continue to slash. So you get this big barrage, then you get your normal barrage, and then your normal barrage is 4 hits. So if you press the right mouse button, which is this move I'm doing here, which can be used for mobility, for closing down distance, and for escaping, you can then cancel back into a normal combo way faster than you normally would. I tried to break that wall then to do a nice little dive, but the wall was being a cunt, so I ended up falling down and using the door like a pedestrian. So you want to combine those things together to get some interesting things. And then his final ability is his E ability, which once you pop it, you have 5 seconds of 50% extra defense. So your damage is reduced, I think, by half. So notice just then I was fighting Groot. I didn't know whether or not I was going to kill him because I don't know the character, you know. I don't have my confidence. I don't have my understanding to read the game. So I pop it for the defense and then I just wail on him and I killed him. And being able to get rid of a Groot that quickly shows you that Wolverine can be really strong when he needs to be. And then I get onto the back line here, I get rid of the Moon Knight, I go immediately for Widow, but I miss her with my ability because I'm shit and it's really hard to use. And then we've got the tank coming in, we got the healers again, Moon Knight goes down, here comes Adam Warlock, I'm losing HP. I'm just staying in the fray because this was a bit silly, this. I probably shouldn't have done any of that, but I'm just so fucking bloodlusty right now. I am in the pocket in the game. I don't even know what's happening, but it's perhaps not the most graceful, but it was a shit ton of fun. And sometimes, isn't it about the fun? You know, we can't always play the best or the cleanest. And sure, against better opponents, I was dead then because it was overextension and it was quite stupid. But my God, was it good. Do not sleep on Wolverine. I think he's way better than people realise. However, the Hulk stole my thunder there in that match, and he ended up doing really, really well. So GG to that Hulk, and thank you for watching. You take care now.